Hi everyone, thanks a lot for stopping one more time on this YouTube channel. If this is your first time, please I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel because here you get fresh information, but genuine information which will help you during the course that you'll be taking for you to make it to the United States of America. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to explain to you the supporting document. Last year, uh, everyone who has been selected for a DV lottery was supposed to send the supporting document to KCC. KCC stands for Kentucky Consular Center. So we're supposed to send those documents to KCC, but now that requirement has been revoked. Okay, but here's the thing: we're supposed to send only a part of documents, and the rest of the documents we were to provide them or to present them or to give them on the day of interview. But that requirement has been revoked. Now everything has to be presented to the embassy on the day of interview. But just to recap, to refresh your memory, that first category or that first type of document that was supposed to be submitted or sent to KCC, these are the documents we are talking about. Let me just scroll down here. I'm going to share the documents that we are referring to that someone was supposed to send to KCC before. Okay, so this first category of document was your birth certificate, courts and prison record, military record, police certificate, and lastly was the photocopy of valid passport biographic data page. So these are the documents that one was supposed to send to KCC. This part of documents. But as for the rest of the documents, those documents were to be provided on the day of interview. But late last year, and that became effective even for this year 2022, I mean 2023 for those who are waiting for the interview, and that is also applied for those who have applied for the DV lottery for 2024 fiscal year. So those people who have applied waiting for the results and those who have been selected this year for the DV program 2023, they don't need any more to send supporting documents to the KCC. All those documents, the first part of document which I mentioned here on this video, and the second part of document which I'll share with you here on this at the screen. Obviously I'll get you some information, some explanations about all these documents, how to get them. So none of these documents must be submitted to KCC prior to your interview. So relax, you don't need to send anything to KCC as documents. Just be patient, but at the same time you have to gather all these documents in such a way that once your case number become current and then an interview date has been scheduled for you, you go for that interview and then you got all the required documents. Okay, you don't need to worry about sending those documents prior to KCC before your interview. But now let's discuss with you about those documents. When we are talking about supporting document, which documents precisely are we referring to? So I'm going to share this screen with you. I'm going to share this screen with you in case maybe you do not know how to get access to these documents. Don't worry, I'll put two different links below the description. So the first link will be for the first part of documents, and the second link will be for the rest of part of the document. Okay, so I'm sharing now the first type of document that you need to gather. First of all, it's about the birth certificate. We know that everyone who was born in a certain country has got a birth certificate. A birth certificate is the one that contains the citizenship of you, your citizenship. Okay, so you need to gather that document because it will be required of you to present it on the day of your interview. If you never had that document before, please, this is the time. As long as you have been selected, or as long as you already applied for the DV lottery, now we are waiting for the results, maybe you might be selected, please, this is the time to get that document. So first of all is your birth certificate. The second document is court and prison record. So this only applied for those who have been in courts. This is mostly applied for those who have been convicted. As long as the result or the record is found at a particular court, please, you will have to provide those documents. Okay, it's one of the required documents. And if you have been imprisoned or if you have been jailed, so definitely there should be a document that testify that you have been in prison. Okay, so you're gonna have to also gather that document as part of supporting documents. And obviously the military record, so if only this only it's applied for those who have been serving in the military. If you have been serving in the military, you're gonna have to gather those documents as proof of you being there and as proof of you stopping being soldier. So you're gonna have to provide those. But if that does not apply to you, don't worry, you don't need to worry about gathering all that document. And the next, which is also one of the important documents, is police certificate. So police certificate, this is the I would say the terminology here in America, but in other country it what is called your background check. Okay, so this background check, you don't go to a small office to get that paper. No, go to official offices, you know, for the governments. These are the ones that have the ability of providing those official documents to you. Okay, so there are some informations, some explanations I'd like you to get away regarding this police certificate or the background check document. According to the instructions of the United States of America, it's not everyone who has been selected for the DV lottery, or not everyone who's proceeding for this program that must provide this document. No, the instruction says that each applicant aged 16 years old or older must submit all required police certificates. So if you are your age is below 16, let's say you are 15 or 14, you know, maybe you are a son of or a daughter, I mean, let's say you are a child, you know, you don't have, you are not 16 years old, you are less than that, that is not going to be applied to you. Okay, it's only applied for those who are 16 years old or more than that or older than that. So those people, they have to provide police certificate. Okay, obviously it explains how to get certificate, but you're gonna have to check with your country how you can get access to that police certificate or background check document. There's another important information that I would like to share with you regarding the obtention of the background check or police certificate. So here's the thing, there's a kind of a board here that explains. Let me try to zoom in. Okay, to make it a bit big so you can see well here. I think here it's gonna be fine. Let me try to make it put it in between. I think this should be fine. All right, so it says that from, and then the applicant needs a police certificate from. That means that if you are from the country of nationality, if they resided there for more than 6 months, that means that if you have been living in a country and there you spend more than 6 months in that country, you will have to provide a police certificate or the background check of that country. Let me try to explain you. As me, I'm originated from the DRC, the Democratic Republic of Congo. So, but for many years I've been living in South Africa before moving here in the United States of America. And as for my case, I had to get both police certificates from my country where I was born, and also the police certificate from South Africa. Why? Because I lived in South Africa for more than 6 months. So if you lived in a country that is different, in a foreign country, let's put it that way, you lived in a foreign country for 6 months or more than 6 months, then you're gonna have to get a police certificate, both for the country where you are coming from. Even though you have been not living there, you're gonna have to get a police certificate from your original country, as well as the police certificate or from the country you have been living during 6 months or more than that. But if you lived in 4 different countries, let's say, I mean, you are from Congo, but you traveled in 4 different countries, and in each of those countries spent 6 months or more than 6 months in each and every single different countries that you travel from. So you're gonna have to get police certificates from all those 4 different countries for the fact that you lived in that country for 6 months or more, and you lived also in this country for 6 months or more, and you also lived, actually you lived in those 4 countries for during 6 months or more, and again obviously with your previous country. So you're gonna have to have how many different police certificates they will need from you? They will need 5 different police certificates: the one from your country you are coming from, and the one from X country that you traveled, but you spent 6 months or more. And if you do that for 4 different countries, obviously they will need police certificates from all those different countries for the fact that you lived there for 6 months or more than 6 months. Okay, I think now everyone understands when it comes to police certificate. So it's something that you need to take into consideration. Don't try to be sneaky. If you lived for 6 months or more than 6 months in a particular country, and you try to hide it to the United States of America, those guys, they might because they do the background. If they do the background check and then they found out that you lived in this country for more than 6 months, and then you refuse to declare it by providing a police certificate on the day of interview, you know what, you're just going to be denied your visa. So it's something that you need to avoid. Okay, the other document is the photocopy of a valid passport biographic data page. So here it's the page that contains your face, your name, your identity, everything. That page, that is the biographic data page that they are referring to. So you're gonna have to get a picture of that page, and then you keep it. This has to be presented on the day of interview. So this is the first part of the documents that will be required of you during your interview. Okay, another part of documents that will be required of you during the day of your interview is the evidence of required DV qualifying education or work experience. So let me try to explain here, especially when it comes to qualifying education. According to the American standard, by qualifying education paper, when they are talking about it, they are referring to the diploma, the high school diploma. So a high school diploma is the certificate that is given to you after you have completed 12 years of study. Let's say you have completed your primary level, and also you've completed the secondary level. We know that primary takes 6 years and secondary also takes 6 years. So in total, you will have studied for 12 years before going to university, okay, or going to college, to any colleges. So diploma, they are referring to 12 years of study, and you'll be given a certificate which is called, according to American standard, it is called diploma. Other countries, they call it metric. Other countries, they call it high school diploma. So that is the documents that they are referring. Okay, so let's say you don't have that document, but you got some education that qualifies you as having job experience, and that experience can qualify you just because you don't have your education paper, qualifying education paper. That job can also qualify you. Okay, so but if you have all of those, it's fine, you can provide them on the day of interview. It is going to be considered. Okay, if you went further, I mean, let's say you went to colleges or you went to university, you got some specialization, and then you got certificate from those university, it's fine. It's just something like a plus, but it's not required. What is required of you is to present the evidence of high school diploma. Okay, I think this one we covered it nicely. And they also required of you deportation document if you have been deported. you're going to provide it. But if you've never been deported, this is not applied to you. It's not applied to everyone. And then they will need you to provide a marriage certificate if only you are married. If you are single, this is not applied to you. You're not going to provide it. They will never ask you, because when you filled your DS260, I mean, even when you have applied for DV lottery, you did not say that you are married, so it's not going to ask you for those things as long as you are not married if you are single. So let's say you have been married and then you're divorced with your wife or your husband, and then they will need a divorce certificate, marriage termination documents. I mean, the divorce certificate, it's a certificate that shows that you are legally divorced, and then you don't have any binds, that ties you to anybody as you being married. They will need you to provide that document. Okay. Other thing that you must provide is a custody documentation. You might be married or not, but there's children that are under your custody. Maybe we might say about adopted children. You have adopted a child, or you have children that you have adopted. Since they are not biologically related to you, you're gonna have to provide a custody documentation. That is a document that explains that you are legally allowed to have the custody of that particular child. Because on the day of your interview, you're gonna have to go with that child, because when you apply for DV lottery, you have included that child. That child is not biologically related to you, and the only documents that can certify that you are actually allowed to consider that child as your son or as your daughter is to provide a custody documentation. Okay, as you can see, it says that for adopted children. So if you have adopted a child, you're gonna have to provide a document legally from the country where you are coming from, or from the country of that child, that child is legally bound to you, although is not biologically related to you. So to recap, guys, this is the documents that you need. So all these documents, you're gonna have to gather them together, and you will provide them on the day of your interview to the consular officer. None of these documents need to be sent to KCC, because that requirement is no longer available. It has been revoked since last year. So it gives you more possibility or opportunity to gather all these documents without you having to rush, because KCC will ask you have more time to prepare for all these documents, and then on the day of interview you can present them. So this is the end of this video. It was explaining to you by required documents that they will need from you on the day of interview that you have to provide. And one more thing, don't forget to also bring the confirmation page of your DS260 after you have applied that, because as you know, after you've applied, after you filled and submitted your DS260, there will be a confirmation page with some numbers there which you have to keep confidential, and then print them out so that you can put them on your folder on the day of your interview, and then you're gonna have to present those documents. I think this video was important to you. Please, if you like it, I would like to ask you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to put your notification bell on so that next time when I send a video, you guys are going to be alerted. So see you in the next video. Keep well in the meantime. Bye. Take care.